Episode 2. Welcome back.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome
How was
back.
everyone's week?
They're not here.
Hi, everybody. Wait, should we start over?
No, it's
No, it's
okay.
fine. Just keep
We'll just
going.
continue.
No, okay, it's fine.
We just wanted to say thanks for everyone who's watched the first episode. If
For
you
real.
haven't, you're on YouTube or wherever this is, check it out. This is the second episode of the SUJOBAE podcast, and yeah, how have you guys been? It's been about a week since the last recording, so
Yeah. Oh, it's been a week?
yeah, it's been over a week now. Yeah.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
dang it.
We skipped last Thursday.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
No, I've been good. It's just been busy. There's a lot of stuff happening. Like, if you're in Seastone, now, it's like we got Valentine's coming up, and then we got retreat, and then like
Yeah.
all this other crap in between, and then jobs and all that stuff. So I've been like
You're
pretty
a
busy.
senior.
I've been pretty busy, but it's been all right.
I've had a pretty crazy week too at work. I think I'm gonna quit my current job because
Okay, for
my
real?
owner
Okay.
did me very wrong this week. So yeah. So
Oh,
I will
can
be
we see that?
quitting.
Exposed!
That's fine.
Exposed!
That's fine. I'm leaving. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. But other than that, not
All right,
much.
that's a story for another time, huh?
Yeah,
After you
actually.
resign.
Now
actually.
you have more time to do this podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, though, Suzie be working, like can't record today.
Should we say our names real quick?
Yeah. I'm Joseph.
I'm Suzie.
I'm Matthew.
Yeah. So this episode, we're gonna talk about kind of connecting from last episode, more about relationships. Pretty common request from some of our listeners. Yeah, we're probably gonna go into some of the things we look for in a relationship in terms of qualities in a partner, red flag, green flag, or green flags, and also maybe deal breakers that we just can't have in a relationship, and also what our types are in terms of the type of person we want to get into a relationship. And yeah, I mean, we can start off with just asking what are some red flag, green flags you guys look for in a relationship. Like, let's say you're about to get in a relationship, you sit down with your significant other or to be significant other. You guys are chatting and making rules, or I don't know how you guys would discuss it, but let's say you sit down and you guys are like, all right, let's set some rules, like some baselines for what we want to deal with in a relationship. So, yeah.
Well, red flags and green flags, you don't necessarily have to like discuss with.
No, yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. But you can like notice these
That was
flags.
the longest intro to a question I've ever listened to in my life.
Yeah, man, we gotta be elaborate.
No, that,
Gotta let them know what we're
I was
talking
about to fall
about.
asleep. What the heck was that?
No,
What's
we
the
can-
question?
Like you get, it's just red flags,
flag,
green
green
flags
flags.
of somebody of opposite gender.
Okay,
You know?
all right.
That's-
Okay, cool.
So
You
who
wanna
wants to start? I can start. Yeah, I think one of the green flags that I like see, and I'm like, oh, this is a really good thing about them is like being close with your family or like having a good relationship with family. And I do understand that like some people like it's like impossible because things happen.
Yeah.
But just like in general, I feel like being in a good relationship with family, just coming from a family that's like from my family, I'm so used to like everyone being close and everyone like loving each other. So I think that's like one green flag I would have towards other family.
Maybe red
members.
flag if it wasn't, right?
Yeah, I definitely. Because I have some friends who would just like talk not so nicely about their parents just because they're not like happy with how they. But I don't find that attractive at all. Like I think that's definitely a red flag for me.
So actually, like, I'm kind of deviate from the question right now. Should we talk about like our types
Maybe that
before we
sure.
go to green and red flags?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we could.
All right. Let's go to types because I don't know. I think
You
that
wanna
helps it. Should I start? Oh shoot.
Okay.
I think you've been thinking about this for a while
My type.
So,
So
Mr.
I've
now. As we all know from episode 1.
my image is so bad right now. Like, legit, I was talking to some people, and like the first thing that they would say is,
He's horny!
"It's like Matt, I didn't realize you're horny." Like, what do you mean?
No, I know so many people are like, wait, I didn't know Matt was horny. And I'm like, oh, okay.
You guys ruined me. Anyways, my type. So like, I don't really know how to answer this, but like looking back on like the people that I've dated, they've all been Asian.
Okay.
They've been like more on the thinner side, I guess.
Okay.
They all were like, I don't know, like did some type of sport. For me, I'm actually like really attracted. I told some people this. I'm like actually attracted to dancers.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. We all know.
Why-
You've made that very clear.
What's wrong with that?
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
No, yeah, but actually, I haven't dated a single day. So,
No.
Okay.
You,
actually, no, one. But yeah,
Like you wish you dated more, but
no,
that's
that's not what I'm saying.
To all the dancers out there.
I'm just saying it's my type. So then, but like it's mostly like Korean.
So not just Asian, like Korean more specifically.
preferably.
Preferably, yeah. But I dated 2 Chinese, 1 Korean.
Sheesh.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. My type's kind of weird, but yeah, that's kind of
Mm,
that's my type. I don't know.
okay. I mean, no personality types, just physical.
Oh.
Oh.
So that's all about that.
Physical.
Looks, huh?
Hey, yo,
the
wait.
first look.
No, I think too like spontaneous.
Okay.
I like people who are just down to do things. Like I'm not some.
Can you specify things? Because it just sounds.
Dude,
sounds
for example, you
Yeah,
can,
for
for
example.
example, I mean, try not to really expose yourself, but maybe give a couple examples.
Okay, what do you guys think about?
like working out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, down to grab both.
No, but like you know what I mean. Like go on trips. Like,
Okay, yeah.
Like go out. Like I don't like people who are homebodies that just stay at home all the time, right? I like doing things. I like like they want to try new foods or like try. Stop.
sorry.
You guys are so bad.
What
No,
I do?
you know what I mean? Like trying new things, activities, hobbies, whatever. Like I don't like people who just want to like just stay home and like do nothing all day. Like that to me is like not super fun. It's fun once in a while, but like not all the time. So I'd also say like a big thing to me is like if like manners. So like if they're like kind to people, like strangers, right? They're like good people, and everything, right? Like they like not just to like the people they like or they're friends with, but like to everybody around them. That's like that. I think that's one of my types, yeah, for sure. Because it's like I don't know, it's cool to see. So yeah, I'm not just horny. You
Okay.
freaking
Yeah. No.
bedouins.
We just needed some specifications because
because you're thinking.
Okay.
Anyways, you
What
want to
about
go
you,
to
Suzie? No, you can go.
me? Okay. I think since Matt started off with like physical preferences,
Okay.
I'll follow that.
No, wait,
too.
what?
Okay.
I'll follow that guidelines too.
Dude, I've been set up.
I think physical wise, I mean, obviously, like I've definitely dated people that were not my type before, and I think that's like bound to happen. But like just like ideally, I think definitely on the taller size and like kind of bigger, like not fat, but just like bigger than me. Because I'm like,
6'8".
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Just
All right,
like
Suzie.
no, actually, they don't really have to be like a lot, like super tall. They just have to be taller than me. But just like I think I'm more attracted to guys who are like kind of bigger, not just like not skinny, because like that makes me. This is like my problem, but that just makes me kind of feel insecure because I don't know. I've like struggled with that, and like my significant other being like skinny just doesn't help me. So I just like feeling small, like you know,
Compared to the guy.
yeah, and I feel like kind of protected. You know what I mean?
Kind of like Joseph, yeah.
What?
What?
Hold on.
Anyway,
Not like
you're
this.
trying to set up other people now because.
Yeah, because I need it.
But yeah, that, and then I don't really have that like physical appearance that much, to be real honest. Like,
Are you just saying that after I? you just
toned down.
said skinny. Like you can't be skinny.
Hey man, the more specific you are, the more we'll know
yeah,
how
and
to.
I don't know. I think guys with glasses are pretty attractive, but I mean that's obviously not. I don't know. I don't really have like a physical.
Like those goggles. That's pretty.
No.
What kind of glasses?
Just like round glasses,
Okay.
the circular ones. Anyways,
Cream
but that's like I don't know. That's like the only kind of like low key important thing is just kind of being like that big boyfriend, you know. And personality thing, I think what Matt said, I totally agree with. Like being nice to everyone, not just like because I don't want to date somebody and everyone's like, oh, why are you dating that person? Like he's like so mean or you know. I
So
don't
like universally well liked.
Yeah, universally well liked, and I think funny is really, really, really important.
Funny.
With me, yeah, like
Sense of
being
humor.
having like same type of humor. I mean, I feel like I'm not that hard to like make.
I think you laugh at everything.
Yeah, so it's not that hard, but I don't know. Like I just we
I
just
failed
have
my
to.
test. That's a good joke.
But I think I don't know, having the same sense of humor. And one more thing is like the maturity level has to match mine. Like I'm not saying. I don't know. I don't want to say, oh, he has to be mature because I don't know. I feel like I can be immature at times too. He just has to be like the same or above is fine. Just not lower maturity than me.
Like you don't want to feel like a mom.
Yeah.
low-key.
Oh yeah. That's just that's almost my deal breaker. Like we can talk about that later. But I think
be a mom.
no, no, being immature.
Oh,
no,
immature.
being
Doesn't have to
mom.
babysit the boyfriend, basically.
Yes, there you
Okay,
go.
okay.
And like lead them through to like get mature. So I
Okay,
just-
okay.
Yeah, I think that's my.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's my. You, Joseph?
For me, I guess since we're going physical first,
Yeah.
some of the, I guess, the superficial things about a girlfriend. Similar along the lines with Matt, I think Asian, preferably Korean. More so now than before. I think having been in Korea for a really long time recently. Surprisingly, like, my parents, like, encouraged me to just date full on, like, 100% Korean. Like, doesn't speak English, native Korean. They say...
Well, it's good for family, like your family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely the family perspective, but also I can see where they're trying to, or being my parents, they probably like notice what my habits are and what kind of person I am more than I see myself, because I just think about it internally and they see me from outside. They're like, you could probably be better with just a straight up Korean girl, like not someone.
Interesting.
Well, I've never thought about that. It's never been
Well, he used
in
to get a
my.
girl first.
I think it's because we've never heard you speak Korean before. I actually have never like.
I've heard.
Really?
Because
I
he
don't
calls his
remember.
parents and stuff in front of me.
Yeah, if you hear me talk to my dad, just speak only Korean.
Oh my god, we should do podcasts where we all speak in Korean.
Okay, so that's not going to be part of the
I'm
podcast.
just gonna listen the whole time.
Yeah, but I've always been more, I guess, attracted to Asian, specifically, or preferably Koreans. Preferably shorter than me. I'm not super tall by any means, but yeah, someone who's a little shorter. Also, kind of similar to Suzie, I want to be like the bigger guy, like the bigger person in terms of someone who they can lean on.
Bigger in what way?
Like in okay, man. Like bigger in terms of physical strength and like support, you know? Like brain wise, you know, she can be smarter than me, I don't care, but I want to be stronger than her, something, because at least in that way I
Like
can
you want to
help
be in
her.
that image.
Yeah, I want to be the guy who can carry her when she needs that kind of help, you know? And yeah, other than that, I haven't really thought about, there's no really like formula to like, oh, she has to have this ratio or this kind of physical trait.
What do you mean by ratio?
Like, she gotta have long legs,
Oh.
or she gotta have like, you know, small.
So it can't be like
face,
Ryan
or-
Wang. Long
Okay.
short legs.
Man. Some guys are into that. But yeah, other than that, not much in terms of the physical
Sorry, Ryan.
aspect. But I think in terms of just personality and characteristics, I think she has to offer something in the relationship that I can't offer. Whether that be in terms of knowledge or experience or background. So let's say like,
So why would you date a Korean girl? Like,
no, like in terms of, that's like physical, right? She's physically Korean,
Oh.
but she could have grown up straight up in Korea, you know? I didn't do that. I grew up in the States. She could have a different major. That's a simple one. She could have a different upbringing, have different siblings, different family dynamic. I do agree with she's got to have a good family dynamic though. I'm a really big family person. Like, my family and I are really close, and we always communicate on a regular basis. So that's something I want to be on the same terms with in terms of family. Also, just kind. And I think a big thing that a lot of people don't mention as often is, but I kind of think I really want a Christian girl. Like, I know that's very basic as a Christian as myself, but there's so many values, or I guess morals and virtues that come with being a Christian that are just default easy to get used to and get attracted to. Because there's nothing wrong with dating a non-Christian, and I'm all down for if there's a nice girl who's not Christian, you know, I would give her a chance. But there are certain, I guess, check boxes that are so automatic for me because I'm a Christian, and if that girl's Christian, she'll just get it right away without me having to explain and you know, teach her, or I guess, you know, have to deal with. So yeah,
true.
Christian is a pretty big one. My parents also being pretty strong Christians themselves. Yeah, that's something I would probably look for. And other than that, I think I would have to be in a relationship to really figure out what like kind of behaviors and things I'm more attracted to.
yeah, that's what I would say. You gotta get the girl first.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like times, like, I guess it's like fun to like think about it, but when it comes to like actually finding a significant, it just never, I don't know, personally I've like never found someone who like fits, like checks all the categories.
I'm not someone who has that always in my head.
That's what made me too.
It's like, it's mostly like if you just vibe, then it's like, okay, let's go. And then sometimes like when you get into a relationship, then you're kind of like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
this, that, and so like yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
Would you guys say then, if you're in a group of people, and let's say you're single, and you're low-key just down to try and start dating someone, and you're in a group of people that are similar demographics to the what you guys described, is the physical like your first impression, or is the personality your first impression? Like, what gets you first? Like, let's say you walk into a room and a bunch of Asian guys and girls hanging out, vibing, chatting, and you need to choose a table to sit down, and you kind of like scan the room. Do you look at like how they look like first, or do you kind of wait until you know the personality first before you start getting in?
I think if it's in
The
that
sexy.
setting, I would definitely look like you can't really know their personality.
That's true.
So I would look at I would definitely go for guys vibe.
Physical appearance.
Yeah,
Damn,
but
he
then
hot.
once they open their mouth and I hear things that I'm like, oh, never mind, then you know.
Oh,
Then move
okay.
on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think we can all agree that physical is important, but I
Yeah.
feel like it's really not as important as personality. Like, I don't think I could ever date, like, even if Jungkook asked me out, Jungkook from BTS, like, if we don't vibe, like, I can't date
No,
him,
you're lying.
unfortunately.
You're lying.
No, I'm not lying. Like, I thought about this very seriously before.
Okay.
And I'm
hear
like,
that?
I
A lot of
can't.
late nights, huh?
Yeah.
Army fans are
We're getting canceled.
All right, then what about like, but you know, like you said, physical attractiveness is a very important first impression. What if there's a guy you would like, first impression, hell nah, like that guy's hella ugly, like I probably will never date that guy. But you mutually, you know, through friends get to know that person, you're like, everything else is perfect, but he low-key kind of ugly.
That I've also thought about this, and this has low-key happened to me before. Okay,
Oh.
not like
Okay.
not like hella ugly, but just
do
like
I know him?
okay, that's
She calling her guy friends ugly, huh?
that's not what I'm saying. But like, if I'm not physically attracted to this person, that's when you become platonic friends. Like, you know what I mean?
Friend zone.
That's everything you described. Like good relationships, vibes, just no sexual attraction, which is unfortunate. But
Yeah,
I can't like force myself to be attracted to this person. you know?
unfortunate. That's true.
Yeah.
So I guess for you, like
No, personality is more important,
Okay.
but
No,
physical
no.
has to, you know.
Happens first.
no, that's not what I'm
That's
saying. But I'm saying like if like you can't get through the physical appearance of somebody, it's hard for you then to like focus on the personality. Is that what I'm trying to say?
Ooh, that's so hard. No, not.
It
not
gets in
no.
the way, right? That's why we're
It's like
masks.
it's like
Close my eyes.
damn, he's really nice to me, but damn, he's
It's
ugly.
kind of hard now with the mask on.
Wow,
huh?
no, that's not what I mean. I like beauty's subjective.
That is
Yeah.
true. That is very
So
true.
you know, but it's just like if I personally like other people can think this person's attractive, but if I don't find them attractive, and if I can't get sexually attracted to this person, like I can't date this person. Like, what are we
Well, that's
gonna
fair.
do?
No,
We're
yeah,
just
I get
gonna
it,
be
yeah.
friends. Like
Okay.
you know, what are you gonna do? You know. So
Unfortunate.
yeah, that's just how I think.
What
What about
man?
you?
What about you?
Yeah, what?
Why are you all attacking me all of a sudden?
Yeah, I don't know.
So like what if
Like,
I
what
look
would
at
you do
so
for-
the
like, what's-
situation, right?
In
You're
that
in room.
situation, yeah.
I think if we're talking specifically about a party, I'm actually looking at the person who is like having the most fun. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I'm not looking for the hottest girl, right? It's like
Interesting.
I'm looking for the person who seems to be just having the most fun.
But she gotta be pretty though.
No, because I don't know, because I'm just looking, right? But I'm looking
Okay.
for who's just vibing, right? I feel like that's what I see first, and then obviously, like if they're not like physically attracted to me, right? Then maybe I'm like, okay, I can vibe, but maybe I won't date them or like develop feelings for them. But initially, I'm not really looking at looks. I'm looking at if. Shut up. in the Suzie just looked at me. Anyways, but like if we're like coming to a party, I'm just kind of feeling out who's has the best vibes.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's me personally. I don't know, because I like having fun, you know. So
And I feel like you like physical look is important too, but I think you really like someone who you can like easily approach to. I think that's why you kind of say like
Yeah.
that's vibing.
but I think also too, like I'm someone who just kind of forces my way in, like you know what I mean. Like I'm
Yeah.
very like aggressive. I'm very like in your face. Like hey, how you doing? Like hi, my name's Matthew Bae. Like that's what I do. Like sometimes.
I don't like that.
So
Yeah. Hey, let me buy you boba real quick.
You didn't bring your wallet?
Oh, that's unfortunate. Here, I got you. Extra large on me.
no, shut
Yeah.
no. Like do you remember? I saw you at the and then I saw you remember that at BGR you go to like that fair. You take the bus. and you go to the
Oh,
chair.
yeah.
Remember, I
Oh
went
my
up
gosh.
to you and I was like, "Hey, are you Suzie Lee?"
I missed out
Oh
on
my
that.
gosh.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember
So
seeing
see,
you.
that's like my
I remember you telling me that you met Suzie through that way.
yeah. So like I went up to Suzie. Suzie had no idea who I was really, or
I
you,
knew-
you might
oh,
have an
like,
idea,
kind of.
but like, you never like actually
Suzie,
talked to me before.
You seemed like you're having fun.
I was vibing.
No. I just happened to see some
So, Asian.
some interesting looking girl pass by.
Oh,
So then I was like, yo, so that's kind of like my style. I don't know.
Oh.
Like, just, yeah. And I guess, like, also, too, like, the people that I've dated, I actually wasn't initially attracted to them. It's when I got to know them,
Okay.
then, like, stuff worked out, yeah.
Interesting.
Like, we
Yeah.
talked about, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I could definitely say that, like, some some people that I've dated, like, I never imagined myself to date this,
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I won't say who,
You
but
can, though.
I'm good. I think it's just
Yeah.
personality just affects a lot. I feel like because sometimes behind the personality, you just like don't realize that like it just kind of gets you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like after a while, you can't even tell like who's attractive and who's not anymore.
This is really going off topic. But,
What?
like, do you think at some point you dated to, like, elevate yourself?
No, I don't.
So
think
you know what I mean? Like, you date the hot guy, or like you date the
To get status.
to get the status. Do you
be in the
have
popular
you
group?
because like I don't know if you've done like so I personally have not done it either.
I've definitely.
But I know
senior
people.
Year,
I know
senior year
people,
of high
yeah.
school. For my high school at least, I don't know. For some reason, right after spring break, everyone's dating. Like literally in 3 months, we're graduating. We're not going to see each other again for the most part.
Yeah.
Everyone starts dating, and then you feel pressure to start dating. And I've seen people who start dating like we're close friends. We could probably date for like a couple months and no hard feelings and break up, you know, like quote unquote, and we get on our way and we'll be fine. But just to be a part of that, I'm in a relationship status.
Yeah, I've seen
group.
that happen before. Yeah.
I've definitely seen that before.
I haven't.
But I haven't done that either.
I no, I haven't done that, but I think it's a turn off because not to like
Suzie bringing it back.
no, not to like this can sound weird, but one of my exes, like his flex was that his girlfriend was me, and to me that was a turn off because I'm like,
Oh,
why
I
aren't
got
you
the trophy.
like why aren't you like confident enough in yourself
Your abilities.
to you know, because I hope he doesn't listen to this, but him and like my guy friend has gotten in we can cut this out too, you guys listen and judge, okay? Him and my guy friend kind of got in an argument before
okay.
because I was playing games with my guy friends and my ex at that point wasn't, and he like called my like friends just like names just like as a joke, I guess, and then my guy friends got
Like pretty
mad.
like pretty hurtful, like or pretty mean.
I won't say the word, but like it wasn't a nice thing to say, but like I think he was just joking,
Okay.
I guess. But my friends were like, what the heck, like you know why? And then my ex was like, well, do you have a girlfriend? Like, I have a girlfriend. And I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I was just like, oh, I don't.
Actually, that's a good point because I didn't think about that, but that's definitely a turn. That's definitely a turn.
I was
off.
just like,
Yeah.
wait, like I don't
If
know.
your girlfriend
I
or
felt,
guy friend's like,
because I felt
I
weird.
got this man's, haha.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have confidence. Is that the right
But
word?
you're flaunting your relationship status.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I
what's
was just
happening
like-
there.
I like it's actually more. I guess a turn on would be like if they like have confidence in the relationship, right? Because of you, maybe they're like no, like you're the maybe like for example like for your boyfriend or whatever, like you know if somebody like approaches you and like you know tries to hit on you or something like that, you can be like no,
Like I have a.
I'm like no, I'm with it. Like screw you.
That's
You know what I mean?
the
Like
opposite of what
that's
happened.
confidence, right? But then like if like for your boyfriend for example comes up and is like.
I have a girlfriend.
I have a girlfriend. Hey, guess what? I just walked in. I got a girlfriend. It's like,
But
You
it
don't-
was kind of like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they're-
yeah,
And my
yeah,
friends
yeah.
were like, "Wait, how's that a
I see.
flex?" You know, and that was a turn off. That's
wait.
very often.
I never. Oh, that's interesting.
It actually happened, and I was just like, I felt so awkward too, because I'm like, what am I supposed to say? Like, you know, like I don't want someone to be like, well, I'm dating Suzie. You know, that's just
Yeah.
like weird.
Yeah.
That's just so weird. I don't know.
Well, then I think speaking of turn on and turn offs, then what are like some baseline turn on turn offs for you?
Well,
Like,
what I
if a
just
guy
talked
does this, you're like, okay, I'm gonna try and make a move. You know?
Okay. Well, what I just said is a turn off.
Yeah.
So definitely don't do that. Turn on.
Now listen carefully, guys.
They have to be good at video games.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
kidding.
Oh, for real?
I'm just
Oh.
kidding.
Yo, but that could be a turn on though. Like a guy who's
okay.
a low key gamer, like
I think it is a turn on when
hit that no scope snipe shot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Doesn't shower.
ooh.
I think it is a turn on when a guy is good at something that I'm not. Not just game in general,
Okay,
but I don't
okay.
know. For example, like cooking. Well, okay, that's. not a
What if
good
they're really
example.
good at robbing banks?
Oh, you have me there.
Yo, I love his dedication to
I'm
his
joking.
craft.
I'm joking.
Yeah, if you
That's
like
an
robbing
offer.
banks, I mean, no, just kidding. Yeah, so just like being better at, and also these are not like required. Like it's just like some of the turn-ons, I guess. And I think like good at singing is one of them.
Okay.
I
Oh.
think it's a turn off when like we just like kind of sing casually and they're bad. It's just like
Or they're confident singing, but they're
yeah,
actually
just
bad.
like because like, you can't say like oh can you stop singing please you know that's
Oof.
yeah. But I mean that's never happened before. But I just
Okay.
think that's. Just,
I think
like,
it's
no.
kind of hard because like if you're in
Yeah.
that moment, even if like you screech, it's like funny. You know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah.
bad.
It's
It's
cute.
funny.
To some
Yeah.
girls, I think it's cute. Like,
Okay.
I think
He's
it's
confident.
cute during honeymoon stage,
Ah.
but after that it's just like oh.
It's like, shut
or
up.
it's cute if they know they're bad, but they still go.
Yes.
And they're like, I know I'm bad, but like
Yes.
they make it obvious.
So,
that they're
but
just-
so then I'm confused then
Why?
because like so if they have no confidence but they keep singing, it's not that's not good. Is that
No,
what you're trying
but I still want to explain.
to say? Okay, never
All
mind.
right, so just a guy who's good at singing is a turn on.
Yeah, it's just a
You
yeah.
don't
I
need
think
to
that's
delve
just
on
like
that.
yeah, and I think it's actually a turn on when he's like just nice to everyone. Like I
good
think
idea.
this is kind of controversial because some people don't like that. Some people
Oh,
are
you're
like,
right.
oh, I want you to just be nice to me. But I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
I'm like that. Like I
Yeah,
want everyone to like know why I chose this person as a significant other. Like I think it would be a turn off if he was like you know kind of dick to everybody else. I don't like that at all. So.
I think kind of going off that, a big turn on for me is when like she's liked by like a lot of people.
What the?
No, but no,
You're
no,
like,
no,
this
like,
is
no,
my
no, 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 I mean,
That's my turn on
no, like
right
good
there.
reputation. You know what I mean? Good reputation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, if you date somebody but like everybody hates them, you know what I mean? Like it's a little bit like must be a reason, or like why are you all of a sudden so good to me, but you're not good to like everyone else? That kind of goes to like being nice to everybody.
yeah.
Like not like you know what I mean? Like reputation, right? If like their reputation is like horrible, then like that's a turn off for me. But a turn on is when like they have a good reputation and stuff like that. So
And people like her for a reason.
yeah, they like her for a reason, not like in a weird like like sexual way, but like just like hey, like she's a great person, right?
Yeah.
She helps me with this, she does this for whatever, like she talked to me, helped me, whatever. Like that to me is a turn on. Turn on, she dances.
Okay. To all them dancers out there, listen to this
Turn-
podcast.
A turn off, she doesn't. No,
So yes.
turn offs is weird. I don't know if I have that many turn offs.
I mean, you don't have to. I think.
I mean, it's part of the process. You just experience.
I think I have to. Yeah, like you have to give me an
It's
example,
situational.
and then I like for example, like the example of like flexing that you're flexing when you're flexing with a girlfriend. That's definitely a turn off, or boyfriend. Yeah, it's like that's definitely a turn off. So I'm not sure.
I think another turn off is when a guy is overly like touchy with you before like you're actually dating. I just think it's kind of weird.
like
Like, have you
invading your
experienced
space
that?
a little bit.
Have you experienced that though?
I've experienced this with like my friends too, kind of with my guy friends.
Like, just PSA, it's not us. It's not
Oh,
your
okay,
joke.
yeah, we're good. We're good.
Or like, yeah, I just don't.
My
think
skin
it's
burns
that
whenever I
attractive.
talk.
My eyes are melting. Natural repellent.
Actually, my turn off is Suzie.
Oh no! Jeez, I'm so
Oh my
sad.
gosh.
Someone bring me a Kleenex. No, I'm just kidding.
So you know, an ice pack for that friend.
Yeah, actually, what's going on?
Matt needs a break, huh?
I'm cramping.
I think.
I thought you had to say something. I was like, what are you doing
I'm
over there?
cramping.
Oh god. Anyways, but yeah. Well, good to know I'm your turn off. Good thing I'm not your turn on.
I think for me, turnoffs is like anything that makes me uncomfortable. Like similar to kind of like if the girl's too
Suzie.
before we start dating, like the girl starts trying to hold my hand or like touchy feely too much before we officially start dating. I think that's also like a turn off because that makes me really uncomfortable.
No, it doesn't.
And if they don't,
Wait, I feel like
But-
okay.
no,
Okay, wait, that's funny because I think most guys would
No,
like
it's
that.
because if I like her, then
Okay,
it's
right,
like
right.
mutual, and then I like it.
Oh,
But that's if I don't know her at all, and we're just getting to know each other on a friend basis first. But she's like, hey, and like always like I don't know, nudges me a lot, or I don't know, whatever. Like does a lot of physical uncomfortable things that I'm just like, hey, we're not on that level yet.
Oh,
like
yeah.
first of all, we're not even friends. Like like if she jumps the gun on certain things, that makes me uncomfortable. I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, for example, Joe, like, I have an example of, like, so, like, what you just said, right? You don't like when people, like, touch you.
Yeah.
You know, there was, like, what is this, like, because there's a lot of situations where people just have more, like, a, like, maybe more physical touch personality, meaning that they, like, it's not, they don't mean it in a weird way. They don't mean it in, like, a sexual way, but it's, like, they just do it because that's what they're comfortable with. So, what do you think about that?
I would say you can definitely tell what the intentions are by the situation.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Like, obviously, if they're just naturally more pushy and, kind of that's their way of showing, getting to know you. Like, I mean, between guys, we just, like, slap each other on the back or whatnot. And, like, that's just the way you get to know each other. But, yeah, you can definitely tell what the intentions are. And I think sometimes if you get the wrong read off of it, that could be okay. True. But for the most part, you can discern between... because that's not the end of the conversation, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to meet that person again eventually, and if they continue to do that, and you can definitely tell if it's like consistently in a wrong way or in a way that's friendly, then at that point you'll know, and you'll just have to make a choice there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I feel like it's kind of obvious what their intentions are, because like, is it not?
No, that's what I was gonna say. I think touch is the most confusing thing to read for a guy.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Actually, I remember once Matt was like, I don't know if this person's like actually interested or if she just like touching in general.
Yeah, it's also along the lines with like, is she just being nice to me or does she like me? I think that's similar, right? Like touch is one way of if she's like nudging people and like touching people on the shoulder or whatnot to everyone, and then she does that to you too. Do you get the impression that she likes me, or she's sending signs, or that's just her way of showing our friendship? So
because it's so, like, 50-50 in my head, I just eliminated, I force myself to, like, if that happens, I just, like, take it as platonic.
Okay.
I force myself to just read it as platonic, and then, but the thing is, in the past, someone told me I missed out on opportunities because I already in my head said it was platonic. And like it wasn't like they touched me in a weird way. It was just like maybe they grabbed my arm, they would touch my shoulder,
and
like
they were interested.
They maybe like bumped into me. But to me, because I don't want to potentially ruin a friendship, right? I don't want to like make the girl feel uncomfortable if she's like clearly just doing this just to be friendly. So I just completely view all touch as platonic until obviously like there's other signs, of course, right? Like maybe more verbal signs. Like I think they are.
Okay, then I think this leads into a question where it's like, then how do you? So let's say, going back to the example of you walk into a room, right, and there's a bunch of people hanging out, and you're single, and you see someone, you approach them, you start talking, and you guys get to know each other, and you start vibing. You're like, you know what? She's kind of cute. I wouldn't mind like trying to start dating with her, and she's single too, and then you decide to hang out a couple times. What's your method of approach in terms of trying to get that girl? How do you pick up a girl? Like, what's your default method?
Could be girl
for a guy, I guess. Like, how do you? Because I know sometimes it's really frustrating when you get to know someone, and after some time, her friend tells you, "By the way, back then she kind of liked you, but you just never kind of." And you're like, you had no clue, right? Because you thought she was being nice or whatnot. So what's like your way of letting someone know, "Hey, I like you," and trying to get that out of her,
I think for me personally, I haven't liked that many people in my life, like to the point where I want to date this person. And I feel like every time I liked someone, like actually, like the feelings were mutual. So it was kind of easier, like to kind of, it was like always that stage, like, oh, do we like each other? Like, are we like on the same page? It was always that, but it was like pretty clear to me. So I was never like in a situation where I like...
Pretty clear?
Question though. So that means, so you never pursued.
I think she's pursued.
What does that mean?
So you've never I think it's different, right? Like, cause like, for example, like I think the guy is always told to like, to ask the girl out, to pursue them, to like make the effort.
No, I pursued, definitely, but like my pursuing worked, I feel like. And
Okay.
like I don't think they were uninterested at me either. Like, it was kind of like mutual.
Mutual,
and
at
then,
the-
but I still.
So then, did you wait for that mutualness, or did you like?
It depended.
Okay, let's change the situation then. What if like, so you heard from someone, hey, this guy likes you, and you low-key like that guy too. So it might be mutual, and you can kind of tell by the actions. But when you're around that guy, oh, there's something here. There's something here, but I can't just go and be like, hey, do you like me? Like that's just out of the blue, right? So you like ask people around, and like they're like, ooh, I think he might like you, or I'm not gonna say, but we should go for a girl, or like you're in that situation. What's your next, like, how do you chase the guy then?
I think first, like, the people around his jobs at that moment is so important because, like you guys said, like, you might miss out on opportunities because you were too, like, scared to, make it. So that sounded pretty personal.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think, like, having those people around you to, like, kind of communicate is important, but also my next move is always, like, kind of dropping hints. Like, I would...
Can you give an example?
How would you drop hints then? Like, what's your way of showing that?
Like,
You
for
hot.
example...
I mean,
God.
you're Korean. It's like
like, for example, like, we were, like, me and this person who I was kind of interested in, we were supposed to go to, like, this, like, not party, like, a hangout, and, like, we were kind of, like, I'd be like, oh, like, are you going? And he'd be like, oh, I don't know. And I'd be like, oh, like, I'm only going if you're going.
oh,
Something like that. Yeah, but like
Okay.
not making it like too like, because I don't
Obvious.
want to like feel pressured like, oh, you have to come. I'll be like, oh, I'll go if you go, or like stuff like that. Or I'll just like, drop like
Oh, that's a
couple
good one.
hints.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But I gotta admit, like hints is very hard for guys to
Is it
do.
really?
It's
It's
very
really hard for a guy to.
because I think guys overthink. And when I'm saying that, like, that what you said about like I only go if you go, they'll probably think like, oh, she probably says this to like 7 other dudes, right? Like
That's probably her natural response.
like some guys are like, oh, she must have done this a lot, so then why would I want to? You know what I mean? Like they really like reach,
Yeah, but for girls, even saying that to us
It's
feels
very
like
hard,
such.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, this is so obvious. Like, come on now. But
Guys
I
are
like,
dumb.
I would like drop hints, and then people usually either pick up or like if they don't like me, then they.
I think for my advice on like how to like I guess get girls
Hey,
Yay.
Master
is
Bae.
no, I'm not. No, it's not Matthew Bae. Oh, that sounds really weird. Don't.
I just realized.
Wait.
I realized that when Joseph said it, and then you said it again. So.
Oh no.
All right. Okay. Wow, that was.
Oh god.
Maybe we should write a script for these.
No, we don't.
No. Okay.
No, we
Anyways, I think my biggest advice is be present. And what I mean by that is like I think a lot of guys try to act hard to get because they want to be cool, right? So it's like I'm not texting her back.
Oh,
I'm not gonna come to that party.
yeah.
I'm gonna make her think about me, dude. Shut up. Just
Turn offs.
exactly.
Right there.
So.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like I'm always tell people, shut up. Just go to that party. Go to that whatever. Like if you go to the gym together or play basketball, go play basketball with them, or like the hangout or wherever club you guys go to, right? Like go to it. Like text her often, right? Snapchat her often, whatever. Like
Not too often though. Because
no, but like as much as like the person is giving, right?
Yeah,
Giving
yeah,
and receiving,
for
right?
sure,
Like just
for
match the energy, right? Don't try to act like I'm gonna leave her on red for like 20 minutes. Like don't play these games. Just like to me, I think like to my experience and girls I've talked to, they like sincerity. They like to see effort because for them, why would they get into something that is inconsistent? You know what I mean? So
Just be yourself.
because for them, let's say they really did like you and you're like responding every like 20 minutes, right, or something, or like on purpose, like they're gonna be like, well, if we're dating, he might do this too, and then what is he doing during that time? Like it goes down this rabbit hole of like maybe negative things. So I think my biggest advice is just be present. Don't like play hard to get or try to be cool. I know so many guys are like, I want to be cool. Actually, being cool is being yourself. So.
Oh, wise words.
Yeah, so like I mean, Joe's not that cool, but
I'm ice cold, bro.
I think not playing games is kind of important, but also like you can't just like fully give 100%. I don't think that's that attractive either. That's.
I'm curious. What I mentioned was that 100%.
No. I think it's good to like show sincerity, and I don't think playing hard to get or like playing games is fun for anyone, unless like I don't know. I just never found that fun, but that's just personally. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think once you like at that that's a stage you get one time in your relationship. You're never gonna like have that chasing stage again. So like kind of enjoy it too, you know? Like not like don't play games, but also like don't give 100% and show everything and like I'm all
like,
in, you know.
Yeah, I like you.
Like I said, match the energy.
Yeah.
Don't like I don't like when guys are like, you know, like, oh, maybe I'll talk to someone else too on top of this girl.
Yeah, that's
in case, you know what I mean, like first of all, it's really funny because most of those guys like you don't have another girl to talk to. So you know, shut up. But at the same time, like, I don't know, that's to me like the best advice. Stay present. Don't.
Yeah, that's probably what they got. Like, that's probably the reason why the girl's attracted to you in the first place. You know what I mean? If you start changing who you are because you realize someone likes you and you try to be more cool or more like who you think they would like, that just backfires, I think, in terms of, oh, the girl liked you for who you are and how you do things in this way, but if you start doing it in a different way because now you know there's an audience or now you know there's a girl that's looking at you, like, that's just, you just crumble under pressure. And that's just, shows no confidence in who you really are. Like, you're not confident in yourself to the guy that she likes. Like, you feel like you would have to improve yourself or change yourself just so that she likes you. But, yeah, that's...
What was the question that we were answering? I forgot.
Oh, we're talking about how to pick up guys or girls, and what would you do?
We're going down. We're not following the...
Yeah, I was like, I mean, that's fine.
It's fine.
I just forgot what we were answering.
Yeah. Then maybe going back to what we wanted to talk about, red flags and green flags, but also types and stuff. What are some deal breakers? So let's say you got in a relationship and this girl does something and that's just like a clear sign, nope, we can't continue this relationship. Like, I'm not talking about like eventual fallout or you lose feelings for whatever reason, but like a certain characteristic or behavior that you wouldn't necessarily see when you're just hanging out versus in a dating status, and then you realize, oh yeah, I can't deal with this anymore. You know what I mean?
I think like my initial like response to this question when we were talking like, you know, off camera was like vaping, like drugs. Like for me, I personally do not vape. I do not, you know, smoke weed. I know a lot of people who do, and like there's nothing wrong with that. I, you know, do whatever you want to do. I fully support you. But for me personally, I don't do that. I don't think I would necessarily that's like a deal breaker. I would say that's more of a big turnoff. But actually, a deal breaker for me, now that I'm thinking about it, is when they can't trust me. So, in other words, like they're controlling. You know, they're looking at your followers, right? They're like, oh, who are you talking to? You can't talk to these girls. You can't talk to like what, like I don't know, because like for me, like especially like a lot of things I do, I'm always interacting with a lot of people. If like, for example, because you know I'm a small group leader at Cornerstone. I know this doesn't make me look that great, but anyways, but like I'm a small group leader at Cornerstone. Like I'm gonna be talking to, you know, guys and girls, right? But what if my girlfriend is like, you can't talk to the girls, but you can talk to the guys? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think you need to trust me that I'm not gonna just, you know, cheat. Or like to me, I think if you can't trust me, that's when like that's a pretty big deal breaker.
And I feel like coming from a girl's perspective, and this also like doesn't apply to everyone, but when a girl or a guy does that, I think that's reflecting on their own actions. Like they're scared to like trust you because they can't trust themselves. Is how I see it.
Okay.
Like they can't remain loyal, for example.
Yeah, like for like
because they know if they're tempted with someone else,
they're gonna be like, oh, he's actually gonna do that too. And
so be like, the guy's probably thinking the same thing, right? Like I'm not the only one.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like he can't be having girlfriends. Like he's gonna end up having feelings for him. Is how she thinks about her guy friends.
That's so true.
That's big. Wow.
Because I feel like
a breakup right there.
Because I feel like I don't know, from my relationships, I think I've had pretty trusting relationships but I think that's because both of us were like we had boundaries with other friends, so we weren't, I don't know, if I was like, let's say if I was not cheating on my boyfriend, but like if I was like, oh, I have feelings for this guy too, I would also be scared if he would be doing the same thing too. So I think it just kind of reflects on your own actions too.
That's interesting. Oh, I didn't think about it that way. That's interesting.
Yeah. Because like for you, like, do you trust, like you can trust if you had a significant other, like you could trust that person, right? Like
yeah, of course,
yeah, that's because you can trust yourself.
Exactly.
Like, I think it goes the same way.
Because like for me, it's like kind of think of like I want to be treated how like I'll treat you, kind of like that. That's why like that's what I'm kind of going at.
Yeah, I think similarly, a deal breaker for me is if the girl's not willing to change. You know, like it's a give and take in this relationship. There are certain things that I can't give up and certain things girl probably can't give up, and we just gotta compromise in the relationship. If they're not willing to compromise at all and expect me to follow all of her rules and all of her needs and all of her boundaries and expectations, and then not abide by what I expect from her or what I would like from her, and there's no compromise, and it's just her not changing and me only changing for her, low-key like being a simp or whatnot, like just me having to do everything by her orders, and that's similar to being like her controlling everything. Yeah, if she's not down to change and become the type of person that'll better the relationship, then yeah, it's a deal breaker.
Yeah, going back to what Matt said, because if you're in a relationship and let's say like I see for example, for me it'd be like my boyfriend like hang out with other girl, he can explain like, oh, like me and this person's relationship is similar to you and your like guy friend whose relationship, we're just friends, and I'll be like, oh, like I understand, like I could like relate to that because we're just friends, right?
Yeah.
So then in like the case that you talked about where like your girlfriend can't trust you, like you can be like, well, our relationship is like your relationship, and then if that girl is like like I don't, that's still very sus, then like you know what I mean?
Yeah. If it's basically trust. If you have trust issues in the relationship,
I think also what Suzie brought up is communication. I think a lot of people might see this issue and they're like, all right, I'm out. But like I think it's great to like Suzie mentioned, like communicate. Hey, like let me kind of change your perspective. You know,
work on it.
Yeah, work on it rather than just like dipping.
Yeah, but also if your significant other has a reason why you shouldn't see this person, then like I mean I'm down to listen to it. Like I think like,
of course, it's very reasonable. Yeah,
like if I say like, oh, I don't want you to hang out with this girl because like I've heard that this girl likes you, or stuff like that, then I think that's reasonable. But if it's just out of just I don't think.
I also think too, like for a relationship, it's actually easier for you if you just trust. I know that sounds really hard, but for me, I realized like if I just trust my girlfriend wholeheartedly and she does cheat on me or mess it, then I did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I just did what I was supposed to do. And I know that's weird because I know, like, of course, like, you're going to be hurt of losing her and everything, and a lot of guys want to, keep her and everything, but it's hard. I think for me, like, my advice, especially to guys and girls, like, trust your partner. If they mess up, then that's not your fault. Just make your life easier because, like, your whole life isn't that relationship, right? You have job, you have other friends, you have other responsibilities, you're a daughter, you're a son, whatever, brother, sister, right? You're so many different roles in your life. Like, try to make things easier for you. Don't try to micromanage everything. So that's like my advice. Just because it personally, like, I've kind of dealt with a lot of like pretty different, most relationship styles. So it's been to me, I see that's like the best policy.
I think since we're giving out relationship advices,
okay.
I think one important thing is like don't make relationship like just your life. Like your life can't just be that relationship. I think I didn't know this when I had like a boyfriend like back when I was like a little younger. I would literally just cut out everyone because it's natural that you want to just see your boyfriend because like you like them and whatever. But I think it's very important to keep in touch with like your friends and like I don't know your family members, whoever. Yeah, because I think now that I don't know, I've learned that I still need to like keep in touch with my friends, and it's always like good to talk about like your relationship like with your not just like gossip, but like talk about problems. I think it helps to see like from other people's perspective too. So
I think for me, like one of my pet peeves is when somebody dates and then gone. Like,
see ya, not gonna hang out with you guys anymore.
Like doesn't respond to anything, doesn't come out to anything anymore. Like I think I'm not gonna go as far to say that's like a bad relationship. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just it kind of is because
you're
it's
obsessed.
like
you're really like obsessed with the relationship at that point.
No, because then after the honeymoon stage, like your friends are gone because you basically ghosted them for so long. Like you can't just expect to like come back to where you guys left off. That's not how friendship works. I think. It's important.
I have a friend I mentioned before to like Joe. Like, he dated like I knew both of them. I was really close with both of them, and then once they started dating, gone. Like I haven't seen them in like 4 years. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like or consistently for 4 years. I've maybe seen them like once every like 2 or 3 years, but like it to me it was like we lost this friendship that like maybe it would have ended right because of just we're all in different areas, right? We're all in different schools, but like it didn't have to end this way. I don't know. I feel like it was like for me like for a while I kind of felt bitter because I was like to me in my head I'm like if you guys don't get married I'm gonna be pissed. You know what I mean? Like
you gotta come back
because both of you gave up all your friends to be in this relationship together, and if you don't marry, then like, was it worth it? You know what I mean? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I'm not sure. I can't say, but like,
Okay.
because like for me, like I'm always waiting for them to like just text me, but you know they just never text me. So it's like it's awkward, yeah.
Because I think it's different. The relationship you have with your significant other and like your friends is so different.
Yeah.
Like I can't
You need both.
imagine giving up.
The balance is hard though,
It's very hard.
because you're so
understand.
comfortable with your significant other,
I've,
right?
I've,
Yeah.
I've experienced where Suzie just dips.
What
Now she
the? I don't do that.
I've experienced where Matt
No,
just dips because
No.
Hey Matt, yeah, I'm
Me
not
and
gonna lie
Suzie-
here.
Me and Suzie don't dip.
No,
Yes.
you don't. But there is a drop in attendance.
Well, but that's
with the-
expected.
it's
so
expected.
you think you're not gonna do that when you get whatever.
Hey man, I'm just saying
Let's see
it's
what
real.
Joseph will do. Okay.
I think Joseph might just disappear.
Yeah.
Hey man, I already don't show up to a lot of things, so
He actually
you
does.
know you don't have to expect me to show up more now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just we're not even gonna realize and notice.
So he's like,
wait,
oh,
what?
by the way, he's
Actually,
gone.
it might be the opposite because when she's with us, all of a sudden he's at everything. We're just like,
That's true.
Oh, Joe's here.
it's like, wait,
What?
Wait, I seen Joe for 2 days in a row.
Yeah, what the? No, but I think like
Did you see?
I try not to like dip. I think because
Yeah,
I've learned the
You gotta put
lesson
the effort
that
in.
yeah, it's hard because like he said, like you're so comfortable with your significant other, but I think like having friends in your area is so important. My friends actually have told me like, wow, I think you learned your lesson and now you like know how to like keep the balance. I think the balance is really
That's what it's all about. Learning.
Yeah,
And even when you're in a relationship, you also like need time to yourself too. That's also something.
yeah, you need me time.
Yeah, I think I definitely need me time, no matter like if I'm in a relationship or not. So I think that's also like another balance.
Definitely. Yeah.
We've been talking for an hour again. Holy crap, that's so weird.
Hey, it just goes with the flow.
Yeah.
And we just do this at like Cranit or whatnot. We just sit around talking and
That's
be like,
true.
oops, an hour went by.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
that's
like
true,
at
yeah.
Matt's house.
Yeah.
Except that was like even longer.
Matt's?
And I think so. If you go back to the topic of types and stuff, I think, and along the lines of like dating advice, because I've never really dated, but seeing people go into a relationship and like there are certain times where I'm just like, if only like this person did their research. You know what I mean? I think it's important to, if you like someone, you gotta understand you're blinded by the love and you're blinded by the fact that she's the one, she's perfect in every way. You gotta ask your friend, you gotta ask her friends, you gotta ask the people around you that are with you two as well, what it's like, what it looks like from the outside. If they're like, go for it, you know, like, I think you two are, I ship you two together, you know, then that's a green sign to like be like, go, green light, just go for it. But then if there's a couple people, or if everyone's like, I kind of think it's not for you, man, or like, I don't really see it, she's difficult in this aspect, or I don't see it happening. There's gotta be a reason, and you gotta do your research, I think, before you just dive in, because a lot of people get excited, it's a relationship, I get it, they just kind of just, no warning sign, just jump in, and then come out like, dang, if only I'd known, or, you know, like, why'd you guys stop
But
me? And, like, I'm trying to stop you, you know?
But at the same time, I also would say don't do that because
Okay.
What do you mean at the same time? You're just saying, don't do that.
No, because like I think for me,
You just jump into a relationship.
yeah, no, honestly, I think everyone, like that sounds bad, but I think if you jump into a relationship, the amount of growing about yourself and about like relationships in general, and like the amount of like knowledge that you learn from it is, I think, irreplaceable. It's because I think if you're so calculative and like you're careful,
I wouldn't say calculative.
it's like it's so like, you know what I mean, like it's like an auction. You know what I mean? Like I think if you like the person, whether because, you know, she's smoking hot or he's smoking hot, or like he's really smart or he has a lot of money or she has a lot of money, whatever, like go figure it out.
But like,
you
okay.
know, like
Last question though, then, are you the type of person to go into a relationship thinking that that's the one? Like you're gonna eventually, because I'm the type of guy, and I'm willing to admit, the reason I'm so hesitant to start dating someone is because I've been so ingrained since I was young that the person I start dating, I have to commit and eventually get married to this person. Like I have to have that all set. I'm not willing to experiment. But now I'm much more open to it now that I'm older. That was me being young and like immature about it. And, you know, having my parents being their first loves and whatnot, that kind of background, that like is kind of subconsciously ingrained. So for me, it's like, if I'm going to date a girl, she's got to be the one. And I make sure everything checks. Even like, that's why I'm so petty with certain things, is because it makes no sense from if you're gonna just start dating and like see for yourself like if it's actually that bad or not. But I'm like making all these calculations, not because I'm like super controlled and like need to have all these things perfect, but because I just want to be sure. I want to be confident going into a relationship that it's gonna be a good one, and hopefully we get married and it goes long term.
One thing I can tell you about that, I definitely used to think that too before I was in a relationship, is like what you can learn about that person without dating is but it's pretty limited. I feel like no matter how long you've known that person for, once you're dating each other, you still learn new things about that person. Mm-hmm. So it might not be what you checked off. Like what you checked off might be unchecked after you date. But also, I think, like, to answer your question, I definitely try to go for people that I see potential in, like, marriage, obviously. Like, but I also think that, like, during your relationship, you can change to, like, work better, and you can work towards that end goal together. So it doesn't initially have to be like, oh, I feel like this person is the one. Because you can always work on it together to, like, make each other better, like a better ideal partner for marriage, too. So I don't think it always has to be the one that you're... But I don't think it's... Like, I definitely personally see, like, oh, I could, like, I think this guy is, like a marriage material. I think that's important, but, like, I don't think it always, like, ends that way.
I've always thought, like, I think in my relationships that I could marry that person. I always thought that way. I think that's me just being, like, a hopeless romantic. I'm not horny. I'm just in love with the person, right? But I think I've always thought that way, and for me, again, it's like, I kind of want to make things simple in my life. I think I've talked about, like, making things, like, more simplistic. I know that's a good and bad thing, but, like, I don't want to, like, constantly have to speculate, is she marriage material? Is she good for this? Is she good at this? Can she be a good mom? Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, like, I know a lot of people who think that way, and I'm kind of like, slow down. Because I think especially at our age, at least what my mom told us, like, we think we're grown up. We're not.
We're so young.
Like, we're still gonna, like, we could completely change in the next 2 years. You never know, right?
We will.
Yeah. And, like, I think but honestly, I think for me, I thought I was grown up. Look, at some point, I was like, I'm good.
Hey,
you know,
man, you're middle school. You just hit 14. You're like, I'm grown up.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you like while you're here, you're kind of thinking, I'm good. This is who I am.
I'm mature.
Yeah, I'm mature now, right? But then you slowly learn, like, no, that's not the case. So I think in a relationship, maybe she fits maybe half the check boxes, right? That doesn't. I don't think that's like, okay, nope. Gotta find someone with 70% completion. You know, like, no, right? Like, it's like, you can work on it, right? Like you mentioned. But if it doesn't, then, break up. It is what it is. But if you can't, that's what I would say. I agree with Suzie.
I do see that approach more, and that's why I'm trying to be more, like, open and be, like, just down for anything. But that just, like, I'm not used to that, you know what I mean? And that's the reason why I've had so many moments where I've just hesitated. And to all those people out there who've been like, why didn't you jump the gun? You know, like, why didn't you just... It's set up.
I was just about to say, to all those people that missed out.
Yeah, to all the girls that I rejected.
No. To all those people who were
we thought the same
me,
exact... We're like...
To those who were next to me when I was on the verge of potentially being in a relationship and not understanding why I didn't initiate, or all I really needed to do was ask, but I didn't, is because I tend to hesitate. It's just a mental thing, but
that's funny. My mom yelled at him.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
They had a like I was.
I had
it was
a
so
therapy session.
It was so awkward. I went downstairs, and then my mom and him were just having a conversation at the dinner table upstairs, just like, and my mom was just killing Joseph.
Okay.
It's like, you messed up. Why didn't you ask her? It's like, you should have done this. Who cares? Nobody cares. You don't know the future. Do you know the future? Are you that smart? Like, that was the whole conversation. And Joe's just like,
yes, mom.
Joe's getting an ass whooped.
Yeah, I can so see your mom.
Yeah, and then so like, my mom was going crazy on him, and then I thought it was funny, but yeah.
I could see why you think that, but I think it's just different because my mom, like you said, you're ingrained to like look for that, but my mom is like, I want you to date more people.
Ooh,
me too.
Because her only boyfriend was my dad, and like she didn't have any dating experiences, so she for me is like, you're gonna live with this person forever, like you need to like figure out
miss out
more.
if you don't.
Yeah. And I agree with Matt. He's mentioned earlier, when you date people, you figure out so much, not only about like what you want to date life, but about yourself. And I think it's like, I don't think it's a waste of time. Like, I don't think any like dating is like waste of time. Like, because I know some people are like, if you're not going to get married, why are you wasting time? Like, I don't think it's wasting time. Okay. Like, you're still learning so much about, yourself.
I think for me, though, if I'm going to go into a relationship, I want to give my all into the relationship. I don't want because okay, me being international and my home being Korea, but also me being here and having to go back and forth and not knowing what the future holds for me in terms of where I'm going to be. It doesn't matter which state or even like if it's on in the North American continent, but I'm in like on the other half of the world. Like for me, it's one or the other. The chances of me dating someone and then that person having to do LDR, long distance with me, is super high, and I don't want that for me, but also for her. Like, it's easier with friendships because you just gotta, stay in touch, and whenever you guys meet up again, you just hang out, and that's enough to keep a friendship. But relationship requires a much more consistent attention with one another. And for me, okay, yeah, I'm definitely hesitating because I want to make sure she's the one, but also I'm very hesitant because I'm so used to moving around a lot and not having that. And we talked about this the last episode, not having that long time to get to know that person, and then if I end up in a relationship with that person, being able to be flexible enough to be with that person physically in the same area or close enough that we could see each other often in person, because I believe being in person for relationships is an important thing, but I see myself doing LDR or long distance much more common than being a much more common option than having to do it. And I know I have 2 more years in college, but 2 years relative in a relationship for some people could be long, but I have 2 years to get to know someone first and then start dating. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And also, once I graduate, I don't know if I'm going to get a job here or go to a graduate school or go back to Korea for whatever reason. And having to go back and forth and do long distance in a different country is kind of hard. Like, even being in a different time zone is hard enough, but being on the other side of the world and literally sleeping when they're awake is rough. And that's why I feel long distance is something hard as well. Like, I expect that going into a relationship.
I think too, though, like you mentioned, you joked around like, oh yeah, Matt, like, was like in 3 months, all of a sudden, he's dating someone, right? Like, oh my god, yeah. It was so fast. You think it's fast, but I think the beauty, like, this is my opinion, but I think a really cool thing about college is that everything accelerates.
Oh yeah.
Because you can get to know somebody really deeply very quickly. Because you can see them almost every day, right? So I think too, like, if for your situation, Joe, like, you think it's like you said it's like, okay, it's like 2 years and then they get to know them, then to date them. You could date them for extra 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you can get to know them while you're dating more and more, and then you might not know that actually, like, because like there's a lot of people who do long distance for many years, and I think you can maybe grow a relationship or a bond with that person for these 2 years, and like you'll be surprised how strong it is. And then guess what? It doesn't matter if you go to like China or whatever, right? Like it's gonna find a way, right? You two are gonna be willing to work through whatever.
Let me just say though, I'm not confident I'm gonna. Like, I don't even have anyone on my radar at the moment.
No, but the thing is, like, you say that, right? Everyone always says that, right? I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody. I said that too. Yeah. Ain't nobody. The fish, the ocean dried up. It ain't gonna happen, right? And all of a sudden I'm dating, right? And then it's like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, because like I had all these restrictions, right? They have to be the same age. They have to be Korean. They have to be. Never happened, right?
Yeah.
So like,
I don't see it happening in a couple months.
You just keep saying that.
You just keep saying that.
And then we'll look back. I'm like, remember when you said that person?
But just not confident it'll happen.
I think that's like a good ending point. And I think there's so many things we can talk about next time too.
Yeah.
Coming off of this podcast too.
Yeah.
Do we want to do a short question? A short funny question?
I don't have a funny question.
Do we have any question requests that we want to answer real quick before we
have
end?
a question?
It has to be quick because my friend is here to pick me up.
Okay. Busy Suzie.
I literally have to go do so much homework.
Susie's
insane.
on the roll.
What are your story highlights or archive story?
All right. What's the best juice?
Best juice.
Best juice.
Like fruit juice or just any
just juice? Anything. Just
pineapple
juice.
Pineapple juice.
Pineapple juice. Sus. Anyways.
What the heck?
Okay, Joe, go.
Sus. For me, I like juice.
That's also sus.
That's also sus.
That's so weird.
That's hard, man. I like orange juice. Orange juice. Orange juices. With pulp. I like pulp with orange juice.
That's sus.
That's weird. I hate it.
I like You guys make, is this kind of like mango juice, like mango nectar, all that stuff?
Oh, like the
Yeah,
mango
yeah,
concentrate?
yeah. I like that. Those
Oh,
are
the
those
mango
really,
grape.
It's
Okay,
really,
that's
really
a good
good.
one.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
All right, with that, we'll probably just end it here.
Yes, sir.
If you guys listened all the way through, thank you for listening. Make sure to click like and subscribe. If you guys enjoy the content, maybe share it with your friends and family. I don't know about family, but yeah, spread the word. We'll probably be recording next week, so expect about a week or two before the next episode comes out. But yeah, thank you for listening.
Leave comments of what you want us to talk about.
Yeah,
Give us
actually,
feedback and improvements. Please.
Yeah, in the comment sections, we
Don't be
read
too
all
mean.
the comments. There's not a lot, but if you have any thoughts on what we did, any feedback, any topics you want us to talk about, just
Yeah,
let
don't-
us know in the comment section.
Don't be too mean. Joe might cry.
Yeah, please don't make me have to
No
take down the
bullying, no
video or
bullying.
turn off comments. But yeah, with that, we'll end the podcast here, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
No, I'm not. No, it's not Matthew Bae. Oh, that sounds really weird. Don't